Howdy, hey, it's your lammy neck. Ooh, I just realized something. There we go. Hi, good morning. Happy Selene Day, everybody. Oh my god, it feels so good to finally be here and to be able to celebrate one of my oldest and one of my favorite OCs that there is in this world. So come with me back in time and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Originally, I was gonna do a thing where, I tell you the history a little bit. I go on and do my normal spiel. You get a speed paint, yada yada yada. But that's the thing with that story because it's such a catalyst for everything else. Plus, doing the history would involve me having to take back my word on promises I've made, and I really don't want to do that. I'd rather not personally. Um, so instead, we are going to go back because I have a hyperfixation for some reason. Steven Universe is coming back to the front of my brain. So we are going to, instead of my original idea, I'm going to make Selene into one of my biggest inspirations back in 2016. Um, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be basing this off of is current lore and all the updated stuff with her. And maybe I'll sprinkle in a few things here and there. But I kind of went down a rabbit hole tonight trying to figure out what to do. And I was like, oh, this seems like a cool idea. But now I just want to draw Selene as a gem, full force, 100%, because I started going down a rabbit hole of gems and meanings and ba 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 ba.
Selenite. Selenite.
Okay, so the joke isn't funny anymore because I keep literally forgetting how to say this. Because I just want to keep calling it in my head Selenite. Selenite, you know?
Selenite.
Selenite. So the gem I've chosen, or in this case, crystal I've chosen, is this one.
Selenite.
This isn't funny. Selenite. Selenite. And I kind of went down a rabbit hole. I wish I was recording when I was initially looking it up. But this is selenite. They come in, surprisingly they come in different colors. You know? Ooh. Desert rose, fishtail, hourglass selenite. Ooh. This is where you can find them. All this other stuff, right? But I started going down a rabbit hole and I noticed the physical properties. There's a reason why I chose this. Um, crystal meaning. That's the one I wanted to pull up for you guys. And uses. So yes, AI, goddamn. So powerful cleansing, purification, and mental clarity, spiritual growth. Yeah, but it's supposed to like cleanse negative energy. Supposed to help you heal. Yeah, meditation, healing, reduces stress. I thought this would be really perfect for Selene because she's all about like patience and, well, at least her virtue is patience and being more grounded, being more strategic. At least when it comes to her curse, none of this is gonna make any sense to y'all, and I'm not gonna explain it. I don't have the time. I'd be sitting here for an hour. Actually, no, because my original script was only like maybe 20 minutes if I improv'd a little bit. Um, so no, we're doing this unscripted. It's gonna be long, and you're gonna get little snippets of me doing research. So because of this, because of like angelic cleansing, mental clarity, I wanted to see if they had other colors of selenite. I did it. And I found out, hold on, because y'all need to see Desert Rose. If I could spell it right. Shut up if I'm not spelling it right. These are so crazy. Like, look at this. Aren't these gorgeous? Say what they. No, thank you. Isn't this like gorgeous? They're literally rose shaped. They're literally rose shaped. And look, they come in like this brown orange color. I also saw that it can come in like peach. Um, which I was like, okay, cool, warm tones, warm tones. You know, but like these are just so pretty. Here's another one. This one has a little more yellow in it. I really like that. A little bit more green here, but I can't tell if this like the lighting. I love the one with like a little bit of color in them. They're just so pretty. And you know, apparently, hold on. Let me see if I can look up red selenite. Selenite, yes. Like, look. Oh, I love this photo. Thank you, Shutterstock. This is just so pretty. It kind of looks like raw meat, if I'm being honest, like some raw beef, venison. No, prosciutto. Yeah, prosciutto. That's what it reminds me of. If I had to compare it to like a food. But aren't these so pretty? A wand? What? Anyway, so usually you see them and you'll know it. Hold on. Um, actually, before I show you that, we're gonna get into like the meaning of it, or like what they're supposed to mean. Um, grounding, physical energy, transformation and flexibility, emotional balance and self worth. Which I mean, Selene is all about loving herself, so it only makes sense. Honestly, you can't help but be inspired. Um, and then like creative and motivation, I feel like is really big, especially when it comes to patience and wrath. You know, I feel like that right there really fits into it. Um, but let me look up Selene Knight. I'm really about to type it. Like the little towers. You guys should know what I mean, right? No, not shopping. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Um, like these. You know these. We've all seen these before, you know? Yeah, we've all seen these, which I kind of want to incorporate this, and we're gonna get to my other frame in a second here. Um, but I think these are like really pretty, and I can, I can incorporate it. I think I'll explain it more when I get to the other part of like the designing process. Um, but yeah, actually, speaking of, let's get into that. Oh my god, guys, I also forgot. Um, so when I tried to look up the black selenite,
Selenite.
I found out that it was usually paired with this other thing. I can't say the name of it. So hold on one second.
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline. Tourmaline, black tourmaline. Now, I want to know what this does. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay, I'm getting ideas. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Mmm. You can put this in water, but you can't with selenite. Yes. And a charge placed under the light of the sun or moon for several hours to restore its natural protective. And this one can also stay in the sun. Interesting. I think we're cooking here. I think we're cooking. All right, so after some careful considerations, I have my vision board. Okay, I know. So we have the cellulite, the black
Tourmaline.
tourmaline. All right, we have that. Um, we have red cellulite. I put this dress down because it had the shape that I was looking for. A staff, because I feel like that's gonna be her weapon. And I also put sapphire here, because sapphire was one of my biggest inspirations for Selene. Um, down bad for this gem. Love her so much. And so obviously I had to put her up on the board because she was like a big inspiration to me back in 2016. And I think this is good. I think I have a couple other little details like how tall she is. I might also incorporate the shape to her hair. Um Maybe do a little bit of that. I'm not entirely sure. I think I want the gem placement to be on the head. Um yeah. So let's get to the speed paint part. I will put up a finished version of these notes that I have here. Um, and then I'll do some concept art a little bit just to test where I want certain things. Maybe if not that, then I'll probably just jump straight into the drawing. And I will see you after the fact. Peace out. Hey, so sorry about the sudden jump, and then I cut the recording off at the very end. I wanted to speak to you guys personally about the final results and go from there. So let's start off with the first one. Here we have Selene in the Heaven arc, or in this case, the Homeworld arc. I took the gem and I had to add black. So the way I wanted to do it is, as you saw in the beginning when I was going down my little rabbit hole, the more black crystal that usually coincides with Selene Knight over here. Um, I still can't say the name. Um, it helps protect little Selene here from the sun. So she doesn't get damaged or too overwhelmed from the heat. It also keeps her nice and dry with all those extra layers. And I thought it was really cute. So here we go. Kind of a nun vibe. We love that. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the Hellish arc, aka kind of the Crystal Gem kind of arc. Um, so the way I see it, because it's the more hellish arc in Celine's thing, she doesn't have to worry about the sun too much because she's usually around fire. And look at her. She can like actually move around a lot better, and her staff, she has like a blood moon staff, which is the moon that she was born under in her canon and her actual canon. And I decided to go and use the red from the red version of this gem in her eyes. So, like in the normal Selene design, you see the red eyes, and that's her curse of wrath. I wanted to translate that same thing into this design, and honestly, I think it came out really cute. You can see her gem on her forehead a lot clearer. It's similar to her halo that she has in her original canon. And yeah, honestly, I'm really proud of these designs. And finally, what I'm gonna end you guys off with is just this little page of extras. This is where I cut off the recording because I needed a break. My wrist is still recovering from I don't know what it was. It was just in a lot of pain these past couple months. But I'm slowly getting better, and this is one of those times where I just had to step away from the iPad and take a break. So with this one, I looked into the gem, because this gem is supposed to be used for protection, grounding, um, to be rid of negative energy. And I saw that because it is the most delicate, if it gets overwhelmed with negative energy or is exposed to direct sunlight for a couple of hours, even you can even scratch it with your fingernail and it'll scratch. I decided to take this and I guess kind of make it a character flaw. So whenever she gets angry or gets too angry or uses this cleansing like this passive cleansing power, I guess, too much, um she starts to get really angry, overwhelmed, and she combust like she self like combusts and she poofs herself. So she has to be really careful with her anger because any damage to the physical form of a gem will cause the gem to poof. And let's just say this is a common occurrence when it comes to Gem Selene, I can imagine. And then I just decided to do like a quick little doodle of her and uh, her future wife together because I thought that'd be really cute just to add a little bit of gay in there. So yeah, happy Selene Day once again. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay?